Good evening and welcome to our City of Keystone Heights CRA meeting, March 3rd. I appreciate everyone being here tonight. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Ms. Silva, can you give us the roll call?
Mayor Nina Rodenroth.
Here.
Vice Mayor Christine Thompson.
Here.
Councilman Tony Brown.
Here.
Councilman Eston Speedy Custer.
Here.
Councilman Dan Levineski.
Here.
Everybody's present, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Do we have any public comments?
No, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so up for discussion, we have the City of Keystone Heights redevelopment plan from 2004. And I know that I looked at that very briefly, which was basically good for 30 years, is my understanding. But again, I didn't review it in complete, the complete attachment. And also, we have the City of Keystone Heights redevelopment plan from 2015, which was recently discovered, as I understand.
Yes, ma'am.
So, in looking at this, what was the expected outcome for us to talk about this
So
today?
today, I really wanted to know, you guys to know that this does exist. We all need to be aware of what's in that plan. My major thing is to provide you guys with the tools so we can discuss a workshop date because this needs to be revamped. We haven't done it since 2015, and I cannot find where that list was adopted in 2015. So I do think it's important that you guys have this information. You take a week or two to read it, to read through what those projects were in 2004, and there's a 3 or 4 page list on the 2015 one. I just think it's important that you guys see what you thought of 10, 15 years ago, and then all the projects below are possible projects. I'm not asking you to make a decision on that. I just want you to know that these are things that could possibly come out of the CRA if, once we review it and figure out exactly what your plans are. With CRA money, you cannot spend CRA money if it is not in your plan. So my major goal in this 30 minutes is just to come up with a workshop date that Ms. Fleet has agreed to help me with. And if you wouldn't mind, she has a few words to say about the CRA.
Sure.
Thank you, appreciate it. Nice meeting you all. I'm Jan Fleet, with Fleet Professions Architects Planners. And I've been around this world, we've been planning the world for many years. And I work with Green Bay Springs, and I work with Town of Penny Farms, a few other communities that in Clay County, where I was basically planner when they were a city until they got voted out of the city, and so I'm familiar with a lot of small towns, small communities, and through that, I've done a lot of comprehensive plans and updates, and that's something we need to be working on. But also I work as a community development plans and updates. Actually, in the town of Marina, and they have a CRA, and we just updated their plan. And the biggest thing is to refresh it, not to restart it again, but refresh it and look at the projects that make sense still, or the projects that we need to change because, or in the general, the goals, because when any funding of projects in the CRA, any project you pick has to be in the plan. Now, you might just say that a way to redevelop the area would be, say, make sure you approve parks. You don't have to especially always have to list, we're gonna add a trail, we're gonna add we're gonna add park, playground equipment, et cetera. But at least the idea of improvement of a park in this area is part of it. And as Ms. Silver said, what's important is that anything that you do, it's in the plan so that the funds have to be spent in that plan, and there's a certain time period that's supposed to be spent in that funds. The key is that you get some of the counties having more taxes is what's a real benefit of the CRA. That's why counties don't like them, and they fight a lot. They fought against them, and there's always, I just was noticing this week, because I get these emails from Florida Redevelopment Association, and there's a bill right now with the legislature that would really substantially hamper, if it's passed, local communities to create CRAs. Even though there are county CRAs that are very successful too, but the large majority of CRAs are in municipalities, and so that's why the county committee, the Florida League County Commissioner.
Florida League of Cities.
No, not the League of Cities loves CRAs, the county version.
Florida Association of Counties.
Yeah, the Florida Association of Counties, over the years, is not in favor, because you're taking, you know, a certain percent, what would in that CRA area, they are taking your their county part is coming to you as a town to redevelop it. The idea is that if you develop that area, everything around it is going to be increased value, so therefore they're going to get the benefit, but nobody likes taking any money from that. So a lot of communities, and Green Coast Springs is one, because they just haven't re-adopted, and Greenland's another, and in order to save face, the best way with the county is that a county commissioner sits on the CRA board as another member, because they want to make sure that if you're taking their money, which is how they look at it, the county has some input on how it's spent. So, that's-
Do we have anyone sitting on the board for the county?
No.
You are.
Yeah, it's just.
We,
I thought you were talking about an individual, though. Is that what you're referring to?
No, the actual, in some of the CRA boards, for instance, Green Coast Springs CRA board, there has to be a county, in order for the county to, because the county has to accept that you've been a CRA for longer, but the legislation has changed, that since you're a charter county, the county's a charter
Right.
county, that the county has to agree for a CRA in any of its municipalities. So Green Coast Springs had a CRA back, probably when you had it way back, and they let it go for whatever reason, in the 90s, sometime before I was ever involved in the city. But they let it go, and so then they needed it again. It took like 3 attempts, and they finally were able to get it through, and the way they got it through was to allow a county commissioner to sit on their CRA board. So there's an appointment on their board for you, because you have it and kept it going, you don't have that requirement.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Now I understand.
Yeah,
Okay, I just got the part about a representative sitting on that board.
yeah.
Okay, I understand. Since we already have it, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there are some communities, not larger communities, that will have the CRA board as an appointed different board, but that's just the option of local government. But even in large cities like City of Jacksonville, they have advisory CRA boards, but the actual council is the one that votes for the money in the CRA board itself, just like y'all are.
Okay. Okay.
And just to reiterate, Madam Mayor, possible projects, those are all things we could possibly do from CRA funds. However, you have already approved 6, 7, thank you. You've already approved 6, 7, and 8 in previous meetings, but we can hold off on that until after a CRA workshop so we can clarify what those projects are and goals are. Because unfortunately, if you pay some of these things out of certain funds, so say you pay out of CIP, I believe it's about a 3-year window of not paying on these before they would qualify to be paid for out of your CRA funding. So we can't mess up. So I think it's very important we select a workshop. I've provided dates. I apologize if I'm moving too fast. So the dates I provided are March 13th, 24th, 25th, and 27th, if you would like to have it in March. All of these would be nighttime meetings. And then in April, I've isolated the 1st, 3rd, 21st, 22nd, 24th, 28th, and 29th. That should be in your packet. My major ask is for council to select a date so we can, like Ms. Fleet has said, revamp our project list, get our CRA up to date, and get some projects in store for Keystone Heights.
Okay. Well, I think the 24th of April is out because we're going to be hosting the field trip.
Yes, ma'am, I will
Which is
cross
gonna
that
take
off.
a good part of the day, I think. You all have any thoughts on dates?
You know, I don't see the dates. Did you give us dates?
It was in
Very
the
last
other-
page, page
Oh, okay.
117 out of
Thank you.
118.
I was looking on my computer and I didn't see anything on that.
So when you click on the agenda items, and
Yeah,
if you click
yeah.
on where the item is listed,
Oh,
it'll
yeah,
show.
I didn't do
Yeah,
that.
when you click on that, it'll show the dates
Got it.
and associate it on the
Right
agenda.
here. Never mind.
Stephanie?
Yes, ma'am.
Just to let you know that the fourth grade field trip is in April, so the March dates are fine.
Okay. Yes, I believe everybody should cross off April 24th, per the mayor's comment, that is the fourth grade field trip, and we don't want to overdo ourselves.
There's nothing the week of March 17th?
So March 17th, I will not be here. I'm on vacation.
It's unfortunate because that's when I'm on spring break from school. and
So are my kids.
Yeah, I have that whole week free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm busy that week.
You
Doing
want to be
schools.
part of this?
Well, if
I
I'm
think
still
that's the
getting
bigger
paid,
question. How do you feel about that, Tony?
I think you ought to wait till April. I'm not here no more.
Well, and you could still be in our crowd for comments and offering, input, without a doubt. I prefer April as well,
Yeah.
toward the end of
The
April.
week of the 17th, I know it's spring break for Putnam County,
Yeah,
but I've got a full week of doing schools while they're closed,
yeah.
so.
Madam Mayor, could I suggest the 28th or 29th of April? I'm back and forth in Tallahassee, and I have to wait till the end of each week to see when certain committees are meeting the next week as to when I need to go, so I'm going tomorrow, only gonna stay one night this week, so it's a lot of back and forth, but we'll have one new councilman seated April 15-ish, if we were gonna meet then, but out of all those, and again, per your charter, this is the city clerk's deal, but if you would like me to be in on it, the 28th or 29th of April would be much better for me.
I think as the manager, you need to be in on it
Yeah,
because it's,
I agree.
CRA is very important. If-
I
It
do
is.
too.
Yeah,
So,
and you can clarify funds and details.
yeah.
So the dates, were they the 28th and 29th, or was it 27, 28?
28th or 29th.
So the
Monday,
29th
Tuesday,
is,
like at 6 o'clock is,
a-
that's what I'm hearing.
29th is
I'm sorry, I was
Tuesday.
looking, that's right,
28th
you're
is a
right.
Monday.
Yeah,
29th is
You're
Tuesday.
correct. So it's a Monday or a Tuesday of April, and I'm good for either date.
I'm good either date also.
I'm fine with it. The 28th? Did we
Yes, ma'am.
decide on the
Either
28th?
date, either
28th or
28th or
29th.
28th, that doesn't matter.
Ms.
That's
Fleet
fine.
says she has availability on the 29th if council is agreeable.
April 29th.
That's on a Tuesday, I can make that.
We can do, I can do that. Speedy?
That should be good.
Dan?
Yep.
Good?
That's a lot better than this month. I got a lot of stuff going on.
May's gonna be crazy. So, Ms. Fleet, what is a good time? I know, because you're probably coming from Green Cover, doesn't matter.
Now I come from Jackson, but that's.
Oh, that's worse.
Right, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No, so evenings are good, whatever good works for y'all. I mean, that day, anytime's fine.
Would,
Yeah.
would council be agreeable to 6 PM on the 29th of April?
Sounds good to me.
It's fine with me.
Yes,
Perfect.
On the
it's
29th?
on my calendar.
Got pizza.
Gotcha.
We might can find a sponsor for pizza.
Okay. That's great. So we'll cover all that then.
Are we okay with doing that by consensus rather than vote? Everybody is in consensus April 29th at 6 PM?
Yep,
Yes.
Perfect.
we're good. So what we'll do is, and I know we've been talking about these 3 areas, especially 4 areas, I guess, pickleball, basketball, and picnic tables, 3 areas, to hold off until we do have this meeting to decide if those should, because I know they're part of the strategic plan as well.
Yes, ma'am.
So to hold off until we have that meeting. Is that an okay thing? Because of the quote, I saw it was 30 days on the quote? Or do we just want to move forward with what we've
well-
already decided on these 3 items only?
I moved forward on the picnic tables last week. In my head, I thought I could take, if you guys approved it out of CRA funds, and it is in the CRA district, and just replace the CIP funds with CRA, but you in fact cannot do that. So picnic tables are on the way. Basketball court, pickleball court, Geneva Jungle, we could hold off. There's more than sufficient funds in the CIP to do it, but you can only spend your CRA money in the district and if it shows up in your plan. So if we wanted to preserve that CIP funding for paving a road or doing something outside of the CRA district, then holding off on those projects, funding them would probably make sense to do out of CRA funds. But Mr. Commando may have some input there. They're all smaller projects. I mean, I think we're talking about $7,000 6 or 7 on the Geneva Jungle.
So, oh, I didn't see the dollars on I just saw the dollars on the pickleball and the basketball. It's a total of 30,000 between those two. I didn't look at the numbers on Geneva and the Redway.
Yeah, and the roadway signs, if we replaced them out of CRA funds, would only be signs that need a replacement in the CRA district. There are other signs in the city limits that need replacing, and those would come out of CIP.
Well, on these two items here, I noticed the quote was 30 days. So if we
Right.
did something in April to change it back to CRA funds,
We
would
just
it affect it?
have to ask the vendor if the quote's still good.
Okay.
Metal, wood, all that goes up usually. I'm hopeful that maybe it'll start coming down, but we'll see.
Y'all having comments? Tony?
I was just looking through our CRA plan from 2015, and unfortunately, none of these items are on that plan.
Right.
So, so we either have to do it with city funds or we have to redo our plan.
Well, you're in a meeting, you've advertised these items. If anybody would like to move that we pay for items 7, 8, 9, and 10 out of the CRA fund, and that totals up to, I'm looking at Mr. Wright, but he's not looking at me, maybe 40, 50 grand.
Well, we have to update the plan to do that.
Right. Well, those could be the first updates we make to the plan, or we could just wait till April 28th.
Yeah, because the plan is 10 years old, so there's been a
Right.
lot of change. So I think the plan can certainly be updated to include these items, I would think. That's the purpose of having the workshop, to go through that and decide what's real and what's not anymore. Because I'm sure there might be things in there that don't really
Apply.
apply right now. I don't know. I didn't read the whole plan, so I don't know.
It's thick.
Yeah, it's pretty old.
Yeah, but it's amazing how much stuff that's on here that we've talked about.
Yeah, and we've
It's
included a lot of
wonderful.
this in the strategic plan.
Yes.
So we need to do the Ben Franklin and look at it, I think, which
I would
was
suggest-
at the workshop.
I would suggest that council does the workshop, don't spend any money out of the CRA until you get all the ducks in a row. Because if we do something wrong, it gives the county an opportunity to
Pull
put us
funding.
under the microscope. And that's been the fear ever since I can remember.
So just hold off on
I would
all
hold
those
off on
items for now.
spending any CRA money until you get this plan in the position that you need it to be in, so we don't get in any trouble.
And hopefully these vendors will allow it to get to the end of April.
Well,
The
we-
quote, because it was 30 days on the quote.
Right, but at a workshop, we can't make any decisions.
That's
So
correct.
it's really the beginning of May before we can say we'll do it.
That's correct.
Yeah, well, at that point, if we meet on the 29th, the
It's a
next
couple
Monday,
days.
6 days later, you'll be having a council meeting on May 5th, so.
Right, so vendors would need to go till May 6th, whatever date that is.
Just see if they'll support that.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Janice.
I don't want to be a Nancy.
No, that's,
But there's a very statutory way to amend your CRA plan. One of the things you have to do, you have to send a letter to all, anybody that's a taxing authority, like the county, the water management district, the school district, you have to notify them and then you change your CRA plan. So if you have a workshop on the 29th, which correct me if I'm wrong, you're not gonna be able to make the change on the 6th, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, so. Because you can't, the amendment of the CRA plan has to go through a process.
and then it gets approved, so we have to wait for that process to be added or approved, amended by them or whatever, our request.
Yeah,
Because we amended
You
it.
don't have to approve or disapprove, you just have to notify by a certified letter that we're amending our plan and these are the amendments to our plan, just in case they do have a problem. And then you tell them in the public hearing that you're gonna be having to amend your plan. So you just have to notify them.
So we have to wait for them to meet to approve it, and then, no?
No.
You just have to notify them that we send a letter, like, if you just determine on this
29th?
29th, whatever, that these are the changes, we send the letter out, certified to the agencies, and then we set the public hearing. But what I'm saying is, I don't think you could set that public hearing to adopt it 3 days later, because you get all the letters out. I think there's a certain time period, I have to look at the statute again exactly, but.
So what we can do then is just call for a special council meeting
Absolutely.
to, and once we get that approval back from them,
But yeah,
If it
they-
passes the standard one that we're gonna hold the following
They
Monday?
don't have to approve it.
They don't have to approve it, you just have to notify them.
You know, so
Do
yeah,
they have
but-
so many days to object or something?
No.
No, what
Oh.
happens is you're gonna have a public hearing adopting the plan, so it's notifying them of the public hearing so they can come and kind of say if they support or oppose.
So Madam Mayor, can I suggest this?
yeah.
We meet on the 29th,
Mhm.
and then we also have that same day a special council meeting, say scheduled for 7:30. And we do the workshop from 6 to 7:30. Then the special council meeting at 7:30, we're able to vote and adopt it.
I'm fine with that.
Then we
'Cause I-
can send it.
But you have to have notice, first, you're gonna develop what you want in the plan.
Right.
Then you have to send notice out. You don't have time between, like, an hour later to send notice out. So
But I think what he's saying is as a council, they have to approve what they agreed on in the workshop to send that.
You don't need a meeting to do
Okay.
that.
We
You can
we
just
can do that at the end of the workshop.
You can just do it as part of the
Okay,
workshop.
so then we don't need that separate meeting. All we need to do is send out by certified mail, when we're done, what we think our new plan's gonna be. And that gives them plenty of time to review it before our May 6th meeting.
It doesn't have to be certified.
Okay, well, however we send it.
So will we be able to vote on it on that May meeting, that May council meeting, or do we have to wait for?
You have to wait for another meeting that will be noticed.
Okay, so why can't we have a meeting at 7:30 then?
How are you gonna get notice out of the changes you're making to the plan?
We're just trying to understand the timeline and who that goes to, who says what, who's on third?
If I understand Rich right, you're gonna have a workshop.
Yep.
You have to send these notices out, so you don't.
And where do the notices
Does
go
that
to?
notice
Is it
have
a
to be
newspaper?
advertised?
Is it a?
Yeah,
where
okay,
do the
that's what they're
notices
not
go?
getting.
The letters go to like Board of County Commissioners, the Water Management District, the school board.
So it's a number of stakeholders.
Yeah,
It's all the people that, when somebody pulls up a Keystone Heights tax collector bill, it's whoever's listed as a taxing authority. And
So is that like a blank, is that like a blast email type of thing?
It
Or
has to be, it's a letter to the, whoever, to those various agencies that says, on this day, we're having a public hearing to amend our plan. Here is the amendments to the plan. It's a notification. It's kind of like a zoning, you know, when you send a zoning, we're gonna have a zoning.
It has to be
meeting.
advertised.
so
You
it's
know,
6 days
so
later.
yes,
on
it
that
has to be
time, or
advertised.
do we need
advertised in a local newspaper?
Yes, ma'am.
to- May
Okay.
5th.
So
So
that's,
we're looking at
it's
April
advertised for the
29th,
public,
5th.
and then the taxing authorities have to have notice of this meeting. So I would think that it'd be hard to have a meeting on the 28th, the workshop, and then say that you're gonna have your adoption in, May 6th. You could have a special meeting sometime in May. Like I said, I have to look. like this.
Probably
So
the week of the
what-
12th or the 19th.
What would be the first date opportunity, after that April 29th email blast, so to speak?
Mr. Commando's looking that up for you,
Yeah,
like
Okay.
10 to 14 days.
Yeah,
We'll-
just
we'll
trying to get a
figure that
feel
out.
for, you know, because I know this is a quote and it's important, We're trying to control costs as much as we can, and we know how that's going on right now. So, just trying to get an idea, like what you're talking about, Dan.
Yeah, and as another option, we could reconsider our date, our workshop. I mean, right now, we're pushing it out almost 2 months. Maybe we could do it earlier.
Well, we tried in March, but nobody could make it.
Well, I could make it in March, I could, make it happen, but other people said they were kind of busy.
I'm saying I can make time for that.
Yeah, me too.
Well, not the week of the 17th.
Right, and that's not one in the list of possible dates.
Would Thursday night, March 27th, Ms. Fleet, would that work, council? Is it
I'm good.
Thursday?
That's good for me.
Yep, I'll be there.
You here?
Yes, I can do the
Perfect.
March 27th.
Can we make
Is council agreeable for me to change consensus to March 27th at 6 PM?
Yeah, they don't.
19th or 23rd, I'm out of town.
It's not my ideal, but I will go along with it.
6 PM on the 27th?
Yes, by consensus, I have changed it to March 27th at 6 PM.
And then April What is our city council?
April 7th
April 7th?
Actually, it is April,
or 6th.
April 14th. Months ago, we did a
No,
No, we're gonna do it on the 7th in the pavilion was,
You guys agreed on it
We
when we
agreed
did
on
the
the
calendar months
did
ago.
we?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought we agreed on the 7th,
Oh.
because Mr. Brown will be gone on the 14th.
but I didn't remember voting on it. You and I had that discussion after the.
I thought we all talked about that.
No, you voted on
Okay.
it. You can vote to do something different, but you voted on it.
But you're not planning to be at the April 14th. You could not attend.
Election will be over.
I know.
I'm done. I'm out of here.
So if council
So
would
this
like,
makes this meeting your last meeting, is what we're saying.
unless council would like to vote to change the date from the 14th to the 7th in the pavilion.
Well, first off, we're in a CRA meeting, so.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, okay. Um, Okay, so we're going to do the CRA workshop on March 27th at 6 o'clock, 6 PM. Okay? And then I guess we'll think out what the timeline is, Rich, for all the steps that we have to ensure that we've completed to make those changes. Okay, I think we're good. So we got through that, and any other comments, you
Can I
guys? Yeah,
just share with my colleagues here that the 2015 plan is only 8 pages long?
yep,
And so it's hopefully not too big a deal for us to do this workshop on the 27th. Hopefully we can take the 8 pages and knock them out pretty quick.
I believe Ms. Fleet will guide us through it fairly easily.
Okay,
okay. Thank you, appreciate it.